first. Let's make one correction. Ahituka. Kusala, not akusala. Ahituka kusala vipaka. Ahituka kusala, not akusala.
What page is that?
You hear the second line, ahituka, and then I made a mistake there. It is printed as akusala. So it should be kusala.
Oh, Ahituka.
It must go. It's wrong. How many songs did you hear? Only 6. Yeah. It doesn't like it's summertime. Okay, we'll begin. So, today we will study Ahituka Citta. There are altogether 18 types of Ahituka Citta. Okay, stop again. That's why I told you, you need a better tape recorder. It doesn't work, huh?
I think it's the microphone. Look at a little sometimes.
It's on.
Yeah.
Hmm? Okay?
No.
No?
Yeah. Something wrong. Yeah. No, you won't.
So okay, begin again. So today we will study Ahituka Chetas. So there are 18 Ahituka Chetas. Now first, the word Ahituka. Hetu, you know the word Hetu. Hetu means root. And there are 6 roots. 3 unwholesome roots and 3 good roots. No, I don't say unwholesome roots, I say good roots, because they are wholesome and also they are resultant and they are functional. So they belong to beautiful Cetasikas. So 6 roots, 3 bad or evil roots and 3 good roots, or 3 unwholesome and 3 good roots. In the book it says bright roots. Now these chetas arise with none of these 6 roots. So they are not accompanied by any one of these 6 roots. That is why they are called rootless consciousness. Rootless means no concomitant roots. But since they are results of, say, past karma, they are results of roots in the past. But when they arise, no roots accompany them. So they are called Ahituka. Sometimes Hetu is translated as cause. But here, if we say no cause consciousness, it will be wrong. So no root consciousness or rootless consciousness. So rootless means no roots accompany these types of consciousness. And they are divided into 3 groups. Now the first group is Akusala Vipaka Chetas. There are how many? 7. And the second group is Ahituka Kusala Vipaka Chitta. How many? 8. And then the third group, Ahituka Kiriya Chitta. How many? 3. So altogether 7 plus 8 plus 3, we get 18. Now the first group, Akusala Vipaka Chitta. Now the word Vipaka also. Vipaka means some things which has ripened, which becomes mature. So it means result. But this word is restricted to Chaita and Cetasikas only. Now there are material properties which are caused by karma, so which are the results of karma. But material properties are not called vipaka. Only Chaitas and Cetasikas, resultant Chaitas and Cetasikas are called vipaka. So you must understand the meaning of this term. It Buddhist explains that here vipaka means the identical. It must be identical with its cause. Since these cetas are the result of karma, right? So karma is what? It belongs to mind, mental factors. Karma is one of the mental factors. So it must be mental, and it must take an object so that the resultant is identical with the cause. And that identical resultant is say citta and cetasikas and not material properties. Now when you grow is a grain of paddy, right? So you grow paddy, and then first you get the plant, you get the sprout and the plant. But until there are grains on the plant, you do not say it has ripened. So only when you get grains on the tree, on the plant, you say the plant has ripened. So the plant, the leaves are also the result of the seed, but they are not called say paddy. Only the last one, which has ripened, is called paddy or grain. So in the same way, here, although material properties are caused by or are the result of karma in the past, they are not called vipaka because they are not identical with the cause, which is which belongs to mental factors and which takes object. So vipaka, whenever we say vipaka, please understand we mean only cetas and cetasikas, not material properties. So there are altogether 7 akusala vipaka. Now akusala vipaka means vipaka of akusala, results of akusala. Here may mean akusala consciousness, but actually the real cause is karma or volition concomitant with akusala consciousness. But for the sake of simplicity, we will just say these are the causes of akusala ceta. To be exact, these are the results of akusala ceta. To be exact, we say these are the result of akusala volition, akusala karma. So akusala vipaka ceta. So akusala qualifies vipaka and not ceta. And there are said to be how many? 7 of these resultant consciousnesses of akusala. Now, before we study these 7 cetas, we must understand what happens when we see something. Once we understand seeing, we can also understand hearing, smelling, and so on. And that seeing, although it seems very simple, is actually a very complex experience. And many tiny moments of consciousness are involved in what we call seeing. So we see something and we think we see it right away without having to spend much time. But if we can blow that picture up, say 1 million times or 1 billion times, then we see that there are many thought moments before we can say we see something. So in the commentaries, a mango simile is given, and that is a very good simile to understand the thought process. Here, thought process of seeing. So it is said that there is a man with his head covered and he went to sleep at the foot of a tree, mango tree, with mangoes on it. Then a ripe mango fell down, loosened from the stalk, fell to the ground, grazing his ears. That means maybe near his ears. Then he was awakened by that sound. So he woke up. And then he opened his eyes and looked at the mango. And then he stretched out his hand and took the mango in his hand. After taking the fruit, he squeezed it. And then he smelled it, and so he knows it is ripe. Next, he ate it, enjoying it. So he ate it. And then after eating, he swallowed the small particles with the saliva, say down. And then he went to sleep again. So if you remember this simile, you know the thought process of what we call seeing, or we may call it psychology of seeing. Now, there are thought moments always going on and on in our lives. There is a kind of thought, kind of series of thought moments, which we call bhavanga. Life, it is translated as life continuum. They are something like non-conscious consciousness, say unconscious consciousness. I do not want to use the word subconscious. It may mix with subconscious of modern psychology. So unconscious thought moments. These unconscious thought moments are going on all through our lives when there are no vivid objects presented to us. Then when an object comes into the avenue of the, let us say here, when a visible object comes into the avenue of the eye, then we say that visible object strikes at the eye, impinges upon the eye. That means come into the view. So when the visible object comes into the view, the flow of bhavanga is interrupted. First it is shaken, and then it ceases, it stops. So after the stopping of bhavanga, there arises one consciousness which is called pancha dvara vajjana. That we'll find in among the three ahituka kiriya chetas. So pancha dvara vajjana means adverting, 5 sense door adverting. That means when an object is presented to the 5 senses, we call 5 senses sense doors. So when the objects are presented to the 5 senses, the bhavanga ceases, and then this consciousness arises, taking that as an object, and also it turns the flow of consciousness towards the object. So that is why it is called pancha dvara vajjana. Pancha means 5, dvara means sense door, avajjana means turning. So it turns the mind towards the object, or it turns the mind towards conscious moments. So that is one very brief thought moment. After that, there is a real seeing consciousness, and seeing means just seeing, not understanding it, not knowing it is good or it is bad, or not even not knowing it is a mango actually. So that consciousness is called, in Pali, Chakku Vijnana, eye consciousness. So I'll explain its meaning later. And then, that is like the man opening his eyes and looking at the mangoes. Now he sees the mango. After that, another thought moment arises, which is called Sampatichana, receiving, accepting, receiving the object, accepting the object. That is like the man stretching out his hand and taking hold of the fruit. And then comes the moment called Santirana, investigating. So he squeezes it to find out whether it is ripe or not. So that is investigating consciousness. So the mind investigates the object present already accepted by Sampatichana. And after that, he smells it, means he smelled it and he decided that it is a mango, it is ripe. So in the same way, there is the moment called Vattabhana. Vattabhana means determining. So at this moment, the mind determines that this is the object. After determining comes Javana. The literal meaning of Javana is to have force. But the meaning to understand here is the full enjoyment of the object. So only at the Javana moment do we experience fully the object. And there are actually usually 7 moments of Javanas. So the other ones are just one each. So Chakku Vijnana once, Sampatichana once, Santirana once, Vattabhana once. But Javanas, there are 7. So 7 moments of Javana arise. And after that, there is what is called Tadaramana. Tadaramana means, let us say, after taste. Taking the same object as Javana. There are 2 moments of Tadaramana. And then, fall back to Bhavanga again. So this is a rough picture of, say, what seeing is. But after this thought process, you have just seen a visible object. You do not have, you have not come to the decision that is a mango. So in order to understand, to know it is a mango, you need some more kinds of thought processes. Now, you will study thought processes in the 4th chapter of the manual. So do not worry if you don't understand clearly here. Okay. So this is the simile of mango, illustrating the seeing thought process. So if you understand seeing thought process, then hearing thought process and others are very easy to understand. So this is how a thought process arises and then it disappears. Now we will study the individual types of consciousness. Now number 1. What is number 1? Upikha Sahagata. And then Chakku Vijnana. So it is accompanied by indifferent feeling or neutral feeling. And it is called, Chakku means eye and Vijnana means consciousness. I've told you that Vijnana is a synonym for Chitta, right? So Chitta, Vijnana, Mano, they are synonyms. So Chakku Vijnana means eye consciousness. Eye consciousness means consciousness which depends on the eye to arise. if you have no eye, you will have no seeing consciousness. So seeing consciousness depends on the eye to arise. So eye consciousness means consciousness that depends on the eye to arise. And the eye really means the sensitivity in the eye, not the whole eyeball. There is a place where the image strikes, and I think retina, right? So in modern terminology, it's called retina. So the image strikes there, and then the nerves send message to the brain, and so on. So that place is called eye here, not the whole eyeball. So that eye consciousness is accompanied by upekkha feeling. That means indifferent feeling or neutral feeling. The next one is upekkha-saṅgaha sota vijnana. Sota means ear. So ear consciousness. Again, the meaning is consciousness that depends on the ear to arise. If you are deaf, if you have no sensitivity in the ear, you don't hear. So hearing consciousness will not arise. So Sota vijnana means, or ear consciousness means consciousness that depends on the ear to arise. And it is accompanied by indifferent feeling. Next is what? Ghana vijnana. I want you to pay attention to my pronunciation so that you can read Pali. Ghana vijnana. And it is nose, ghana means nose. So nose consciousness. Consciousness that depends on the nose. And nose means the sensitivity in the nose where we experience smell. So that part of nose. So consciousness that depends on that part of the nose is called nose consciousness, or in Pali, ghana vijnana. And then next one is what? Jihva. Jihva vijnana. You I think you have guessed the meaning of jihva, right? Tongue. So tongue consciousness. That means again consciousness that depends on the tongue to arise. Jihva vijnana. It is also accompanied by upekkha. Okay. And then the fifth one is dukkha sahagata. The fifth one is accompanied by pain, dukkha. And it is called kaya vijnana. Kaya means body. So body consciousness. Consciousness that depends on the body, the whole of the body to arise. And this is accompanied by pain, dukkha. Now, these 7 types of consciousness are resultant of akusala, right? Now, what kind of results does akusala give? Painful results or pleasurable results? Painful results. So, since these are the results of akusala, the object we see, we hear, and so on are undesirable objects. If you see something ugly, if you see something which you don't like, then there is this type of consciousness. If you hear a sound which you don't like, which is too loud for your ears or whatever, you have this type of consciousness. And if you have a bad smell, there is this type of consciousness. So dukkha sahagata kaya vijnana, a bodily feeling. You hit yourself, and then you have pain there. So that when there is pain in the physical body, you experience that pain with this type of consciousness. So this type of consciousness is accompanied by painful feeling, not by upekkha, indifferent feeling. The next one is upekkha-sahagata sampatichana. Sampatichana means accepting, receiving, and it is also accompanied by indifferent feeling, upekkha, or neutral feeling. So sampatichana, accepting, receiving consciousness. Here, receiving consciousness means just receiving consciousness that receives the object presented by eye consciousness. After eye consciousness, sampatichana arises, right? And then the last one is upekkha-sahagata santirana. Santirana means investigating. So it is called investigating consciousness. Consciousness that investigates the object already received by receiving consciousness. And it is also accompanied by indifferent feeling. So the object of all these 7 types of consciousness is always what? Undesirable. If they are desirable, the consciousness will be the result of kusala. So there are 7 types of akusala vipaka cetas, akusala vipaka consciousness, unwholesome resultant consciousness. Now, in the English translation, unwholesome should connect with resultant only, and not with consciousness, not unwholesome consciousness. Resultant consciousness, which is the result of unwholesome consciousness. Now, there are conditions for these 5 consciousnesses to arise, and it is good to understand these conditions. Now, in order for the seeing consciousness to arise, we need 4 conditions. There must be a visual organ, that means we must have eyes. And then there must be visible object, there must be something to see. If there is nothing to see, then seeing consciousness will not arise. And then there must be light. If it is in the dark, we cannot see. So we need light. And then the last one is attention. Sometimes we are not attentive and we don't see. So attention is also important. Attention really means turning the mind to the object. So if the mind is not turned towards the object, we don't experience that object. So we need 4 conditions for this seeing consciousness to arise. So what are the 4? The eye, and then the thing to see, light, and attention. Now for the hearing consciousness to arise, what do we need? Auditory organs, ears, right? And then there must be sound, some sound. If there is no sound, we don't hear. And then there must be space, either or space, right? If you close your ear, then you will not hear the noise. So you need space. And then attention. Then smell, olfactory organ. That means you must have a nose. And then there must be smell. And if the smell is not carried by air to you, by wind to you, you will not experience that smell. So air or wind you need. And then attention. So these are the 4 conditions for smelling consciousness to arise. And then gustatory organ. That is when you eat something, right? tongue consciousness. So there must be the tongue, and there must be the taste in the food. We call it taste. And then there must be water. There must be water. Water means moisture or liquid, right? If you put a dry food on your mouth, then you will not taste it. And if your tongue is also dry, and you put a dry piece of food on your mouth, on your tongue, you will not get the taste. So in order to get the taste, you need some, what should I call it? Yeah? Saliva. Yeah, that you need. Otherwise, you will not get the taste. So that is here called water. Not real water, but water in the mouth. That's it. And then attention. And then the last one is what? Tactile organ. That means the body. So this can be the whole of the body, except on the hairs and the long nails, where we don't feel. So it resides on the whole of the body. So the body, and then something to be touched, some tactile object, and then the earth. The earth means solidity of that object. You know, when we say the element of earth, element of water, element of fire, element of wind, we mean not the earth, the physical earth and so on, but the quality inhering in these things. So the quality inhering in the earth is softness or hardness or solidity. So there must be this earth quality also in order to experience touch and then attention. So you touch something and you really have the experience of that solidity or hardness or softness. So these are the conditions required for these five to arise. They will apply to the five among the Ahetuka Kusala Vibhaka Cetas also. So let's go to that group. Second group is called Ahetuka Kusala Vibhaka Citta. Now here we have to qualify Kusala Vibhaka with Ahetuka. I think you understand it. Huh? Because there are Kusala Vibhakas which are with Hetus. We'll study them later. Among the sense sphere consciousness, form sphere consciousness, formless sphere consciousness, there are Kusala Vibhaka. They are resultants of Kusala. So in order to differentiate these from those, the word Ahetuka is put in front of the word Kusala Vibhaka. But with regard to Akusala Vibhaka, we don't have to say they are Ahetuka. Because Akusala Vibhaka are always Ahetuka. There is no Akusala Vibhaka which is with Hetus, which is accompanied by Hetus. So we don't have to say Ahetuka, because they are always Ahetuka. But here, if we do not say Ahetuka, then it may include the Kusala Vibhakas which are with roots. So that is why we have to use the word Ahetuka here. So Ahetuka Kusala Vibhaka. That means Kusala Vibhaka which are without Hetus. And there are 8 types of consciousness, not 7 here. Here, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. These 4 are the same, let us say, right? What is the difference here? object. Here the object is desirable, good objects. So you see something beautiful, you hear sound beautiful for you, you smell a good smell, smell of a perfume or something like that. So here, since they are resultants of kusala, they must be good, they must be desirable. So, eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, the same. Now number 5, body consciousness. Here body consciousness is accompanied by sukha. Sukha. Sukha means, it's difficult to get a good translation for this word sukha. So we just use happiness. Here pleasure. But please understand, it is bodily pleasure. Now, when your body touches a thing which is soft, there is this kind of sensation. So that is called sukha. If you hit against a rock, then there is pain, and that is dukkha. So if your body or if your hand touches a thing which is soft, which is pleasing to the touch, then you have this sukha. So it is accompanied by sukha, say pleasure, and it is kaya vijnana, body consciousness. Now, up till now, how many kinds of feeling we have met? Somanasa, right? Upekha, domanasa, right? Now, today we met 2 more, dukkha and sukha. So, how many feelings are there? 5 feelings. So, we can say there are 3 feelings, or we can say there are 5 feelings. So, these 3 and 5 will be treated in this manual. Sometimes 3, sometimes 5. So, there are 5 kinds of feelings. And somanasa, domanasa, and upekha are mental feelings. And dukkha and sukha are also mental, but they are connected with the body. Now, you are happy by yourself, and that is somanasa. You have a good touch, right? And you are happy. That is sukha. You are sorry. Oh, that is domanasa, right? You are sorry, domanasa. But you hit yourself against something and you have pain. That is dukkha. So dukkha and sukha has to do with physical body. Somanasa, domanasa, and upekha has to do with mind. So when you are just happy, there is somanasa. When you are happy with the good feeling of the body, there is sukha. Right. So sukha sahagata kaya vijnana. And then next one, the 6th one is the same. Upekha sahagata sampadichana, receiving consciousness. And then number 7, somanasa sahagata santirana. Investigating consciousness here are of 2 kinds. The first one is accompanied by somanasa, and the second one by upekha. So there are 2 santiranas here. So there are 8 ahetuka kusala vipaka, not 7. Okay. You may want to ask many questions, right? First, let me explain why eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness are accompanied by indifferent feeling, regardless of the quality of the object, right? Whether the object is desirable or undesirable, there is always upekkha, right? Why? So, you look at this picture. First, please understand that eye sensitivity and so on until tongue sensitivity. These sensitivities, these material properties, are called dependent material properties. They depend on the four great elements. When they arise together with these four elements. Element of earth, element of water, element of fire, element of air. So these are called Mahabhutas. So they are like hard foundations or something. And the others are called soft. Maybe they are soft. The eye sensitivity and so on are called soft because they depend on the four great primaries for their arising. And the same with seeing conscious, visible object, sound, smell and taste. They are material properties and they also depend on the four great elements. So, they are like a balls of cotton. So, these are balls of cotton. And this is the anvil. So, it is like the four great elements. Hard here, right? And the cotton is soft. And here also the same. And then what about what we call touch? Sight, sound, smell, taste, right? And then touch. What we call touch is actually a combination of the three great elements, three of the four great elements. Element of earth, element of fire, element of air, not the element of water. So when we say touch, it is nothing but a combination of these three. Are they hard or soft? Is touch hard or soft? Hard, right? Okay. So when we see something, it is like striking a ball of cotton with another ball of cotton. No impact. So there is no strong impact, and so there is always indifferent feeling. Right? This is eye sensitivity, and this is visible object. So visible object comes and strikes at the eye sensitivity. No, not much impact. Right? That is why there is only indifferent feeling, no somanasa or no domanasa or whatever. But when there is touch, body, the body sensitivity and touch, there is impact, right? So it is strong. So when it is desirable, there is sukha. And when it is undesirable, there is dukkha. That is why body consciousness is accompanied by either sukha or dukkha, depending on the quality of the object. Right? So, seeing and others are like striking. So you put the ball of iron on the anvil, and then you strike it with another ball of cotton. But touching is like putting a ball of cotton on the anvil and then striking it with another hard thing. I should put there so that it makes more noise. So that is why the four eye, ear, nose, and tongue consciousness is accompanied by upekkha always. And body consciousness is accompanied by either pain or pleasure, depending on the quality of the object. Now, another problem here is, why are there two sandiranas, right? In the 8 akusala, aheduka kusala vibhaka. Okay, now there is only one santirana among the resultant of akusala. But among the resultant of kusala, there are two santiranas. One accompanied by somanasa, pleasurable feeling, and another accompanied by upekkha, neutral feeling. Why? Now, when we say desirable object, we are using a general term. So there are two kinds of desirable objects. Ordinary desirable object and very desirable object. Some objects are very desirable for us. Some are just ordinary desirable. So there are two kinds of desirable objects. Ordinary and the very desirable, or specially desirable object. When the object is very desirable, then the santirana is accompanied by somanasa. But when the object is not very desirable, but just ordinary desirable, it is accompanied by upekkha, indifferent feeling. So, because there are two kinds of desirable objects, corresponding to these two kinds of objects, there are two investigating consciousness among the 8 rootless, wholesome, resultant consciousness. Right? The problem is not yet ended. Then, could there be ordinary undesirable and very undesirable objects? And so, should there be two sandiranas, there means among akusala vibhava, should there be two sandiranas, one accompanied by domanasa and another accompanied by upekkha, right? You understand that? Yeah. Why? So among the kusala vipaka cetas, we say that because there are two kinds of desirable objects, there are two sandiranas, one accompanied by somanasa and the other accompanied by upekkha. Similarly, should there be ordinary undesirable and very undesirable? I think so. The object can be very desirable sometimes, right? You hate some object very much. So why? I don't know. Okay. Now, you go back to akusala ceta, right? Domanas, two dosamula cetas, right? I said something there. You remember what? Domanasa feeling and dosa always arise together, right? They will not arise separately. So when there is domanassa, there is dosa also. So if there were very undesirable, ordinary undesirable, and very undesirable. Let's say if there were very undesirable, then we say there must be domanassa feeling, right? But if domanassa were to arise, dosa will also arise. Dosa and domanassa are different, right? Domanassa is a feeling, and dosa is one mental factors. They are different. So when there is domanassa, there will always be dosa. And dosa is definitely of the nature of akusala. It is never a vipaka. It is never kusala. So we might allow domanassa to arise here. But if we allow domanassa to arise, we have to allow dosa also. Dosa will not arise here because dosa is akusala and not vipaka. So they are different in their nature, in their genus. So since dosa cannot arise, there can be no domanassa. That is why there is only one ubhika santirana among the 7 akusala vipaka cetas. Okay, the next group, the last one, ahituka kiriya citta. You know ahituka. Kiriya is translated as functional. That means it just does its function of arising and disappearing, or taking the object, just that. So it has no karmic power, and it is not a result of karma also. So that is why they are called kiriya. So another word is inoperative. They translate it as inoperative also. They arise and they disappear without leaving any karmic force, because they are not karma themselves, and they are not the result of any karma. They are say neutral. So they are called kiriya. We will meet many kiriya consciousness as we go along. How many cetas are there? 3. Upika sahagata pancha dwara vajana. So 5 sense door adverting consciousness. Now you have seen 5 sense door adverting consciousness in the simile of mango. So this is the consciousness which arises after the flow of bhavanga has ceased, when the object impinges upon the sense doors, 5 sense doors. Eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, we call sense doors. They are like doors through which consciousness arises. So this type of consciousness turns the flow of, say, consciousness towards the object, towards the 5 kinds of objects. So that is why it is called pancha dwara vajana, or it changes the flow of consciousness from bhavanga to, let's say, active consciousness. We can call bhavanga inactive consciousness also, and other type of consciousness we can call active consciousness. So from this moment on, the flow of consciousness becomes active. So it changes the flow of consciousness into active. That is why it is called pancha dwara vajana. So the word avajana, I mean, the commentaries give the meaning of the word avajana as two. So one is reflecting or something like that, and the other is turning, say turning towards, turning to the object. Since it is panchadvara vajana, it will arise only in connection with the five senses, five sense objects. If you think of something in your mind, then another type of consciousness will do that function. And that is the second one, manodvara vajana. Manodvara means your mind door, not eye, ear, nose, tongue and body, but your mind. So your mind, actually, the bhavanga mind is called manodvara here. So when you think of something in your mind, when you remember something, or when you are happy, or when you are sorry, or something like that, there is this thought process of manodvara. At the beginning of the mind or thought process, this consciousness arises. So it also turns the mind towards the mind object. That is why it is also called avajana. And since it arises in mind door, it is called manodvara vajana. It has another function, and that is the determining. Vattabana in the simile, mango simile, you find the word antasantirana, there is vattabana. So this consciousness, manodvara vajana, performs two functions. When it arises through five sense doors, it does the function of determining. But when it arises to mind door, that means not seeing, not hearing and so on, just thinking in your mind, then it does the function of turning the mind towards the object. It has two functions, and it is called manodvara vajana. Now the last one, these two are accompanied by upekkha, right, in different feeling. So regardless of the quality of the object, they are always upekkha. Then the third one, somanasa sahagata hasitupada. Somanasa, you know somanasa, pleasurable feeling. Hasitupada is a compound word, hasita and upada. Hasita means smiling, smile. Upada means here producing, making it happen. So hasitopada means consciousness that produces smile, that causes smiling. So this consciousness is called hasitopada. And since you smile with good feeling, it's always accompanied by somanasa, pleasurable feeling. And it is said in the books that this type of consciousness is peculiar to arahants only. So we smile with other types of consciousness, not with this type. So if you become a Buddha or a Pajika Buddha or an arahant, you will smile with this type of consciousness. So this is for arahants only. And by the word arahant we mean Buddhas also, because Buddhas are also called arahants sometimes. So hasitopada is for arahants and Buddhas and Pajika Buddhas only. So it is smile producing consciousness. Now, in connection with this hasitopada, You will find in Narada's Manual of Abhidhamma and also in Compendium of Philosophy. Six kinds of laughter, or six kinds of not just smiling, the laughter are mentioned. And I think the Compendium of Philosophy is the first book that mentions these six in English language. And here the author said, there are 6 classes of laughter recognized in Buddhist works. Now, I want to make a qualification here. Actually, these 6 kinds of laughter are not from Buddhist works. Originally, they are from Sanskrit works. These 6 are mentioned in Sanskrit works on rhetoric. How to write beautiful prose and so on. So when the Buddhist monks wrote some treatises on rhetoric, they just copied that from the Sanskrit. And so we find these 6 mentioned in our books. But originally, they are from Sanskrit sources. So I want to understand that. I want you to understand that. So it is not, these 6 kinds of laughter are not mentioned in the commentaries. In the Buddhaghosa's commentary or in later commentaries, they are not mentioned. So they come from treatises on rhetoric. But it is interesting to understand these 6. So the first one is a smile manifesting itself in expression and countenance. That means just a little, very, very faint smile. Your lips may show that smile, but you do not show the teeth yet. A very gentle smile. So that is the first kind of smile. The second kind of smile is a smile consisting in the slight movements of the lips, just enough to reveal the tips of the teeth. So if you show the tips of your teeth while you smile, this is a second type of smiling or laughter. The third, laughter giving out a slight sound. You make a little sound. Now you make sound. The fourth one is laughter accompanied by the movement of the head, shoulders, and arms. It's become more rigorous, right? The fifth one is laughter accompanied by shedding of tears. Sometimes you laugh so much that you shed tears. The sixth kind is an outburst of laughter accompanied by the forward and backward movements of the entire body from head to foot. You will fall down while laughing, right? So there are these 6 kinds of laughter mentioned in those books. Now, this man, the author of this book, was a layperson, a Burmese. His name is Shui Zan Aung. So, he might not know that these 6 kinds of laughter are originally from works of rhetoric. So he said, in Buddhist works. So not necessarily in Buddhist works. Actually, they come from Sanskrit sources. But these 6 kinds. Now, of these, the first 2 classes are indulged in by cultured persons. So if you want to be thought of as a cultured person, don't laugh too much. Oh no! The next two, by the average man, and the last two, by lower classes of being. So these are the 6 kinds of laughter mentioned in books, and I think it's interesting to note these 6. So when the commentaries described Buddha as smiling, they said Buddha smiled showing his tips of his teeth. So Buddha might smile with one of the first 2. Sometimes Buddha smiled. Let's say Ananda was behind the Buddha. But whenever Buddha smiled, Ananda knew, and then he would ask the Buddha, why you smile? What is the reason for your smiling? And that is why Ananda was behind the Buddha, and Buddha smiled, and Ananda knew that Buddha had smiled. Why? Huh? It is said that when Buddha smiled, say he shows the tip of his teeth, and from his teeth emitted white rays. Buddha emitted six colored rays sometimes, right? So from the teeth and from the whites of the eye, the white rays emitted. So when he smiled, when the Buddha smiled, the rays went up. And so by these rays, Ananda knew that Buddha had smiled. So he would ask, what is the cause of your smiling, or something like that. Okay, now we have got all 18 ahituka cetas. So the first 7 are called akusala vipaka, that is the result of akusala. And the second group, 8 of them are called ahituka kusala vipaka. And the last 3 are called ahituka kiriya ceta. So, and kiriya ceta is translated as functional. Now, you may look at the dots, right? Okay. Can you identify? Let's see. First we will go in order. So akusala vibhaka 7. Which are the akusala vibhaka 7? You please, right. So and then ahituka kusala vibhaka 8. Right. And then ahituka kiriya 3. Right? Yeah. Okay. Then eye consciousness, which one? Yeah. I mean from the first from the 7, right? So eye consciousness accompanied by what feeling? What color? Blue, right? Okay. And then ear consciousness, ubheka. Nose consciousness, ubheka. Tongue consciousness, ubheka. Now body consciousness, dukkha, pain. And then receiving consciousness, ubheka. Investigating consciousness, ubheka. Good. Now the next column. Eye consciousness, ubheka. Ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, right. And then body consciousness, sukha. Right? Yeah, sukha here. And then receiving consciousness, ubeka. The first investigating consciousness, somanasa, pleasure. And then the second investigating consciousness, ubeka. Right. Let's go to the third column. What is the first one? What's the name of that chapter? 5 sense door at body. Or in Pali, Pancha Dwara Vajjana. Okay. And then the second, what feeling? Ubeka. And then second chapter, mind door at body. In Pali, Mano Dwara Vajjana. And feeling ubeka. And then the last one, what color? Red color. And what is this? Name of this chapter? Smile producing. In Pali, Asittopada. Very good. Now, there are two eye consciousnesses, right? And 2 ear, 2 nose, 2 tongue, and 2 body consciousnesses. Now, they will be referred to as
Page 41.
41. Yeah. Page 41. There's 5 types of resultant consciousness in both classes. The unwholesome resultants and the wholesome resultants are those that are based on the sensitive matter, pasada of the eye, ear, nose, tongue, and body. These 10 chetas are collectively designated the 2 sets of 5-fold sense consciousness, or Dvipancha Vijnana. Now we will be referring to them many times. So which do you prefer? The English or Pali? If you prefer English, you will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words. If you prefer Pali, there is only there's only one compound word, right? Dvi means 2, Pancha means 5. So 2, 5 consciousness, maybe what's that? Twin 5 consciousnesses or something like that. So Dvi Pancha Vijnana. So later on, if we want to refer to all these 10, so we'll say Dvi Pancha Vijnana. So when we say Dvi Pancha Vijnana, we have to understand that these 10 types of consciousness are meant. And in the second chapter, so we will be referring to it this way. So please note that name. Okay, then now we have 18 rootless consciousness, right? How many of them are accompanied by somanasa? How many red dots?
3 red dots.
Red dots, not cross.
2.
Two. So what are the 2? No, I mean what the name of chetas? Investigating and smile producing. Yes. And how many are accompanied by pain? Only 1. What is that? Body consciousness of akusala vipaka. And how many are accompanied by pleasure? Sukha. 1. What is that? Body consciousness of kusala vipaka. How many are accompanied by upekha? 14. Right. So, true eye consciousness, right? True ear consciousness, true nose consciousness, true tongue consciousness, 8. And then true receiving, 10. And then true investigating, 12. 1 5 sense door adverting, and 1 mind door adverting. So altogether 18 types of consciousness. So let's exercise once again. How many are accompanied by Somanasa? 2. You can find that out. So 2. And how many are accompanied by Sukha? 1. How many are accompanied by Dukkha?
1.
How many are accompanied by Upekha?
14.
14. All blue dots. Now, 12 akusala cetas plus 18 ahidukha cetas. Altogether how many? 30. Now, these 30 are referred to as Sobhana in Burma, not in the commentaries, not in the books, but in Burma, for making the enumerations easier, we give the name Sobhana to these 30 types of consciousness. They are not Sobhana cetas. So the rest will be Sobhana cetas, beautiful cetas. Since the rest are beautiful cetas, they are called non-beautiful cetas. So there will be altogether 30 types of consciousness that we can call non-beautiful consciousness. So later on, if we have to refer to these 30 as a group, we will say non-beautiful consciousness, 30 non-beautiful consciousness. So they are non-beautiful, and then the following, all of the following, beginning with sense sphere consciousness, will be Sobhana cetas. So these 10 are Asobhana, and the others Sobhana. Okay, now, so we come to the end of 30 Asobhana cetas, right? 30 types of consciousness that are not beautiful. It is strange that smile producing consciousness is included in non-beautiful cetas. It is just a name, it is just a designation. Okay, so we get all together 30. You want to do some more exercise? Then all 30. All 30. So you look at all 30 dots, right? Now how many, if you look at the chart, it will be very easy. Now, how many are accompanied by Somanasa?
4.
Among 30?
6.
6.
Yeah.
6.
How many by Upekha?
20.
20? Then how many by Sukha? 1. How many by Dukkha?
1.
1. Okay, very good. So you have to exercise like that. Look at it, and if you have spare time, it's good to have a group, say 2 or 3 people, and say exercise asking each other. Say how many are accompanied by Somanasa, how many are by Udukha, and so on. Oh, 2 more. I left 2 more. How many are accompanied by Domanasa? 2 by Domanasa, 1 by Dukkha, 1 by Sukha, and the rest by Upekha in different fields. Okay. There is a chart in the book, in the manual, but it's easy. Page 43. And there's some kind, feeling, and chaitanya and so on. So it's just to help you to get acquainted with the chaitas. But if you look at the chart, I think it's better to look at the chart. So please memorize these 18 chaitas. You do it 1 column a day, and in 3 days you get all 3 columns. So when you have this chart in mind, it's very easy to talk about. Now, for example, it is said that arahants laugh or smile with 5 types of consciousness. Now look at it. Yeah, the arahants smile with functional consciousness. So 4 from the sense sphere consciousness, and 1 from the asitubha. So with this chart, it is very easy to identify and to say with which types of consciousness the arahants laugh or smile. For ordinary persons, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So ordinary people with 8. Arahants and Buddhas with 5. Then what about Sotapannas? Sotapannas are those who have eradicated wrong view altogether. So there will be no chaitas accompanied by wrong view for them. So with how many chaitas they will laugh?
4.
Yes. Right? Without wrong view, 2 without wrong view, and 4 with and without knowledge. It is just an exercise. It's okay. Okay, you want to ask questions?
You began talking this evening, and you were talking about sense doors of the eye, ear, nose, tongue, and body consciousnesses. And you were talking about the upekkha and the dukkha, and you were saying that on all doors except for the body consciousness, that it was upekkha because it was a neutral feeling or an indifferent feeling. And I was just curious about things like bright flashes of light or large noises that are at least in terms of the feeling tone, there is often an aversion that arises,
Yes.
and I want to know, if that's a subsequent mental state or if in fact it's
That's right. It is subsequent mental state. At the exact moment of hearing, it is accompanied by indifferent feeling. But your reaction to that hearing, so you react with fear or you react with anger. So that is another type, other types of thought processes. But since these mind movements come and go very fast, we think that the moment we hear the sound, we are afraid or we are angry. But they come actually later, subsequently. Yes.
You mentioned there were 7 moments of full enjoyment of the object.
Full
That was
experience.
followed by 2 moments that receives the consciousness. So if you enjoy it, you must be conscious of it.
Enjoy here means experience. Yeah. Because When you are angry, there will be these 7 movements. When you are sad, there are 7 movements. When you are happy, there are 7 movements. When you are doing kusala, 7 movements. When you are doing akusala, these 7 movements. So, enjoy here means the experience, the full experience of the object.
Bhante, when you were mentioning the Vedana, the Somanasa, Domanasa, and Upeka, you said they are all just mental.
Yeah.
And then Dukkha and Sukha are bodily or mental.
Mental through body. That's it, right?
How does say a Somanasa differ from the mental aspect of the Sukha?
Somanasa doesn't need a bodily contact. You can be happy in your mind, but Sukha and Dukkha needs a bodily contact.
So it initiates through the body,
Yeah.
and then the mind
No,
experience.
No, there is, let us say, feeling in Abhidhamma or Vedana in Abhidhamma is mental. It is never physical. Now, what we call feeling, when we use the word feeling when we talk, we mean something here, right? Something in the body. So there is pain here or something like that.
Sensation.
Yeah, sensation. So the sensation of pain is a physical thing. Maybe the physical property is gone wrong, so that there is pain, and you experience that pain. And so when you experience that pain, there is the body consciousness. So that body consciousness is accompanied by, say, pain or displeasurable feeling. So Sukha and Dukkha are actually mental, but they are based upon, or they depend upon the physical sensation. So they are different from pure mental feeling.
Can say Sukha produce Somanasa?
Oh yes,
Follow?
yeah. So Somanasa can follow Sukha.
So it doesn't matter. We have the akusala or kusala vipaka citta regarding the first 4. If we stop right then, right? Nothing follow that. Because both are upeka. The minute you encounter the undesirable object or desirable object, they are both upeka.
Yeah.
So it makes no difference. At
No.
that moment.
Right.
What the difference is after, right?
No, the difference is they are being the result of kusala and akusala. The difference is the object they take, the quality of the object they take. But both are accompanied by in different feelings. But one is the result of kusala, because say you experience a pleasurable, desirable object, and the other is the resultant of akusala. You experience undesirable object.
So what I try to say is when you have that experience, you both are upeka.
Yes.
So if nothing happened after that, so the effect is no different.
No,
Is that right?
because they are themselves results. So they do not give any results. They are like something you throw down and then it just stays there. So they have no karmic force, because they are themselves the result of karmic force. It is said in the books that the vibhaka cetas are actually weak types of cetas. They are not strong as, or not aggressive as kusala or akusala.
Regarding the previous lectures, when you have a somanasa sahagata, ditthigata sampayutta, wonder that can we reverse the different combination, like you have ditti and sahagata and somanasa and sampayutta. Can why yes or no?
In meaning or in essence, sahagata and sampayutta are they mean the same thing, although the words are different. But in other contexts, sahagata and sampayutta are different. But here they are synonymous. For example, sahagata is used in connection with mind with matter. Mind and matter arise at the same time. And so we call them, they are sahagatas. Because they arise together, but they are not sampayutta. Now, the sahagata and sampayutta are different in patthana, let's say. So there are two relationships, right? Two conditional relations. One is association, and the other is connaissance. So connaissance means arising together. So in that case, mind and matter arising together are related by that connaissance relation. But they are not related by association, according to teachings of Abhidhamma. But here, they mean the same thing, sahagata and sampayutta. Sahagata coming together, blending together so that it's almost difficult to differentiate one from the other.
Bhante, regarding the dosa mula chitta, we say is mula because that dosa and the chitta is related through the root relation and not like originated from the dosa.
Right. Mula means here, dosa mula means having dosa as a mula. And that means arising together with dosa. It's not that it comes from dosa, but it arises with dosa. Because it is not the result of dosa. It is dosa itself. So it is accompanied by dosa.
And here we have the hetu condition. We have the root.
Yeah. Since dosa mula chitta has dosa as a root, it is consciousness with root. We have a name for those. Sa-hetuka. We will find that in the next section. Sa-hetuka. Sa means with. So sa-hetuka with hetus. A-hetukas without hetus. So 12 akusala chaitas are sa-hetuka. They are with hetus. And then the others that are coming are also sa-hetuka chaitas. Only these 18 are ahetuka chaitas.
When we practice meditation, we are taught to, for example, see with mindfulness. So seeing, when we say we see something, we are talking about the 17 thought moments that you just taught us. And then seeing with mindfulness means those 17 thought moments are accompanied with mindfulness, which is a mental factor.
the seeing consciousness is actually not accompanied by mindfulness. Mindfulness is one mental factor, and it is included in the beautiful sobhana mental factors. And since seeing consciousness is not or non-beautiful consciousness, mindfulness does not accompany seeing consciousness. But after seeing, receiving, investigating and determining, there are 7 jhana moments. At that moment, there can be mindfulness. Or if you are not practicing, then you may have, there will be no mindfulness. So when we reach the 7 jhana moments, there may be mindfulness or no mindfulness. But with the previous chetas, there is never mindfulness. So because mindfulness belongs to one genus, one nature, and the seeing consciousness and others belong to another nature. Stop. Okay. I think I just stop here.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Please read the following sections. Sense sphere.
I met him in Vietnam.